gonna be canned and weird.
I see. I already started it.
Oh, good.
We're going.
There we go.
We're live.
That's what you have to do. We have that trick too. Like sometimes if we're like filming someone who's like nervous in front of the camera and they mess up, we'll be like, okay, practice it, and we'll start when you're ready. But then we're still filming.
Recording.
Yeah. And then we'll be like, okay, we're recording now. We'll pretend to press the button. And then it's like, we were recording the whole time. You're natural. See,
take notes if you ever work with this guy.
What's
up, everybody? Welcome to episode 348 of Opinions May Vary.
How many years is that? Like 10 years?
348, that would be about 6 years and whatever 11 minus 4 is. 7 months?
Nice.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
You guys are established.
Yeah, we started in 2012.
Jeez.
Can you believe
that? I
that?
remember those days.
Can you believe that? Yeah, you came into my parents' basement and I was like, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. You guys used to work together.
Yeah.
And talk about nerd stuff.
Yep.
And now look.
We've come
Overwatch
so far
together. We played board games together.
Yeah.
For big changes.
We played fighting games that one night at my apartment. Remember that?
I want to play more fighting games. I bought Street Fighter V and then played it for like 3 weeks, and I haven't really
So
played
did everyone else.
Well, I don't know. There's still some people who play it.
My older brother tried like bonding a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and he came to like help me move stuff or something. And he goes, "Oh, what kind of games do you play?" And I couldn't answer him because it's not like I stick to a genre.
Yeah, you play a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's like, well, I play Tekken, but I don't play Street Fighter because I'm terrible at Street Fighter. And I was good at Tekken, but that's kind of changed. And like, well, I play Overwatch, but I don't play other competitive shooting games or first-person shooters.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what to tell him because I don't want to get into the minutia of each game.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start explaining. Yeah, it's just not. It's like my friend who used to.
And then like if he starts explaining to me about fishing, oh, we're done.
Oh yeah.
That's
Even if you're into fishing, I feel like it's boring.
Yeah.
A friend of mine used to. He would install raised flooring. You know what raised flooring is? Exactly.
Flooring that's raised.
Exactly. You know, like drop ceilings.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but on the floor.
Oh.
It's like server farms and stuff like that. He used to install raised flooring.
Is that necessary?
Yes, you can like run wires and stuff under it.
Huh. Well, that's...
You can like get under it and fix stuff if you need to.
Okay.
And like apparently, like I don't know, he did it for a while.
It makes it really easy to clean because you just sweep it under that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's meant for. I'll ask him. We'll have him on sometime.
All the trash just goes underneath the raised.
But whenever someone say like, "Yo, what do you do?" I'm in construction. Like it's not even worth it to start. Like you'd have to go through the exact same thing that I just went through. Like.
Yeah, because I imagine people have questions. Well, what is that used for?
Yeah, it's like when you have a friend who's a cop. We have a friend who's a cop, and everything. Even when you try to desperately avoid it, it just turns into. So what if I went up to you on the street?
One time I got pulled over and this happens.
What's up with that, man? And you can tell he just dies, just a little bit more on the inside. And then like we all make the joke like, "Does this happen everywhere?" It's like literally everywhere. That's funny. So anyways, I went up to this cop one time. Because you just want to.
But this happens with literally every occupation.
Yeah.
Because a friend.
I had a package shipped to me, Alex.
Right.
And like.
Yo. A friend's wife is a dentist. So do you think she gets dentist questions?
Maybe.
He's like, is that a party topic? It happens.
Yeah.
It absolutely happens.
Because like nobody knows about dentistry aside from the fact that it sucks.
Right.
She gets periodicals and everything.
Periodicals.
Oh yeah.
That's a vocab word.
Is it like dentists today or something?
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah.
I remember seeing those things
Canines quarterly.
At certain there when I was working at Westfield State in the food service area, there was like magazines that was like it was like Business Insider and then like Food Service Today or some like. And it's like, no one's reading this. Or like ones they send us from UPS. Like, no one's reading that stuff.
Right.
Like, oh, UPS did all this stuff. Like, I don't care.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't read them.
Yeah.
I am your host, JR.
Oh.
I have my co-host with me, Alex.
We made it this far. Hi. Hello.
Joining us this week, a little bit of a surprise. Just kidding, because we've gone 5 minutes. If you haven't already heard his lovely voice before, it is our good friend, Ryan Vella.
Hello. How is
Ryan,
it going?
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I
get really excited. Like, how this started was Alex was like, hey, how about this KDA thing? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty awesome, right? And then he's like, hey,
when is their full album coming out?
Yeah. And he's like, you want to come on? And I was just like, oh my God, he asked me to come on the podcast again. I haven't been over here in a long time and seen these guys, so I'm excited.
It's one of those things and we just took it. You know, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Mhm.
We always say that.
Yeah, like that
It
song.
happened with our good friend John.
Mhm.
It happened with our good friend Will. You know, it's just like when you lived here, because
Yeah.
Vella used to live here.
I did.
It was like, what's Villa doing? Oh, he's at home. You know, like, no. But then Villa was gone. I was like, wait, where is he?
Have I really been on that many?
I think this might be 7.
We're counting the
Wow.
appearances.
I might have missed one. It says your last one was 267.
When was his first one? It was the original basement.
35, it
Yep.
says.
Yep.
First year.
Wow.
That's year 1.
He
I actually don't remember being on this many
He
times.
did episode 35, 41, and 55.
Those are all really quick, really close to each other.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then we got up to 55, 107, 183, 217, and
Oof.
267.
Wow.
You guys are pretty busy, so. you got a
It's
lot of
true.
people
We
to get
are. We're
on
kind
here.
of a big deal.
Yeah.
We every now and then we convince people who aren't our friends to come on the show, and it's pretty cool. But typically, historically, when Vella comes on, we tend to talk about the electronic sports,
Oh, yeah.
and today's no exception. I got to get my eSports fill, you know, because like I follow it casually, but 99% of my friends don't follow it at all.
Mhm.
So even my casual talk, when I try to casually talk about it, I get blank stares. I
Yeah.
get, why do you care about this? And then I'm confined to, like, I mean, really, when I say casual, these days I just kind of follow the competitive Smash scene. That's kind of it. A little bit of Overwatch League, a little bit
Yeah.
here and there. I follow, you know, like the like who's winning, who's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I immediately latched on to the New York team, mostly because I latch on to New York teams as it is, and then it also, like, they happen to be one of the best teams, which was convenient.
Well, now that the season's over, my Overwatch team is Shanghai Dragons.
Who famously won 0.
Yes.
They never won.
They didn't win a game.
They didn't win any games.
Did they ever win, like...
They had to have won us like a set, right? Because each set was like four maps.
I don't think they ever won a game.
Wow.
When it came down to like final standings, they were like 0-16.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
Shanghai
look at the
Dragons
final
record.
standings.
Let's take a look at this. The
I know,
Shanghai Dragons. They finished with an 0-40 season.
Oh, that's
The first team to
awful.
have a winless regular season, losing 40 straight games in the inaugural season, with the longest losing streak in major sports history.
well. I mean, it's the first season, so they will be the first team to have.
Yeah, like
Losing
that's a
streak
lot of
like
those
that.
adjectives are kind of. But either
But,
way, their
wow.
their win percentage is .000. Their record is their record is 0-40.
Yikes. Who's on
stage-
that team?
In stage 1, they were 12th. Stage 2, they were 12th. Stage 3, they were 12th, and stage 4, they finished 12th.
Yeah, it sounds like
Out of
about
12.
right.
Out of 12.
I admit I haven't. I follow Overwatch League a little bit. I haven't followed as much as I'd like to. Like
Mhm.
they do 4 stages.
They did do 4 stages,
Wow.
yeah. I remember when
What's the
stage 1
point?
ended, I thought that was the season.
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow, that was really quick. It's already over. And
Mm-hmm.
then I realized there was a...
I have to look into that because what's the point of doing 4 stages? Like League does 2 splits. Like they do a spring split and a summer split, and then it goes on to like the worlds and stuff. But
I
4
couldn't tell
stages,
you.
yeah.
I have...
It's an interesting break.
I went on the site, on the Blizzard website, to see if like Dragons merch was like at a discount or on sale. Like,
They're still-
on clearance.
There's still... there's 2 divisions now.
Like how much for
Yeah,
a
there's
jersey?
is it like Atlantic or something?
There's
or-
a jersey. I mean, it's probably still going to be full price because like it's still new. It's still like
Yeah.
they're top, quote unquote top. They're still top players. They're one of the only teams. Like, but now there's more teams. There's Atlantic and Pacific divisions
Oh,
with new teams like the Atlanta Reign,
And then who's the other
Paris
one?
Eternal,
Toronto. Right?
Toronto Defiant,
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff for that.
the Chengdu Hunters, the Guangzhou Charge. I'm butchering this stuff.
I feel like there was already a lot of games and stuff before, but now there's more teams. That's a lot of Overwatch.
I will say my interest in Overwatch League was pretty high at first. I would tune in.
Mhm.
It was cool because like Chris Puckett was on it. Me and Puckett go way back.
okay.
Like he doesn't know who I am, but he's one of the announcers from the Halo days. He was like OG.
Mhm.
He's been with MLG for years.
Same thing
And,
with me and Monty Cristo.
Exactly. Yeah, you and Monty, man.
Go
Just
back.
like
I remember him from like season
peanut
2.
butter and jelly, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching old College Humor videos when they would send Pete Holmes to to MLG events,
Uh-huh.
and he got Chris Puckett to say that was a fistful of bananas. He's trying to get him to come up with new catchphrases. And Puckett's one of the
Has
announcers.
Pete Holmes been with College Humor for a long time?
He's done stuff with them on and off.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's actually like ever.
Because the first time I ever recognized Pete Holmes was because of his podcast on the Nerdist Network.
You made it weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started seeing him pop up in other places.
I like Pete Holmes a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's funny. He's had a bunch of shows. He had his own talk show at one point and all that stuff. He had Ronda Rousey on. She like beat the shit out of him. But yeah, Puckett. When I saw that he was involved with it, obviously because he works for MLG, which was acquired by Blizzard, and so they blah blah. It was neat, and I played the game every day. I love Overwatch. This is the shit. Now there's competitive league, and I kind of know who some of the players are. Not really though. And then by the end of the first stage, I was good.
There's just a lot. Like if you're not really invested in it, like I remember watching it alongside League, and it was just like, like I don't know. It's just it's a lot to watch.
For me, I can't comprehend how good people are.
Yeah.
It's like, Usain Bolt runs really fast. I can understand that he's much, much faster than me. It's like the running thing can be kind of complicated, and he's really good at it. And then it's like, all right, so I don't know what's happening with Genji right now. The screen is an absolute blur, and people are dying. And I'm getting a headache watching this. And like, what? I don't want to watch Pro Genji player anymore.
Yeah. It took a little. I watched CSGO, I've watched CSGO, which is much slower paced than Overwatch. It took me a little while because there was a while I was heavily into Overwatch, like 2 summers ago.
We were all pretty hard on that.
And I bought it for PC, and I was like, I'm gonna play on PC. And I was watching at work on break. I was watching like the Korean League, which is Apex, like OG and Apex League, which once Overwatch League actually started, that dissipated. And at first I was like not able to follow. I was like, the spectator mode, I can't follow anything that's going on. But as I kept watching it, I kind of got more in tune with following it. But yeah, it can be a lot because they're running around really quick. Like Overwatch is a fast-paced shooting game, and they have all these abilities they're going on cooldowns and stuff like that. But I have definitely seen some aspects of high-level play where, like, I forgot who it was. I think it was a Korean player, but he hook shot it up as Widow and like took out the sniper rifle and just like instantly headshot someone from across the map on Ilios in that little the ruins are. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like I could never. And that's just everyday play to them. Off. Yeah.
Like like we always used to make fun of like Widow, like, oh God, we have a Widowmaker on our team because we're at the level of the plebeians. It's when there's a Widowmaker on our team, it's because someone thinks they can snipe or they're just being stupid. They're going to miss every shot. They might hit one shot, and then they're going to go, God, I'm so good with Widow. And they're going to stay on Widow, and it's infuriating. Whereas like when I would see like the pro players, like, why do they run Widow? Widow sucks. Oh, right, because they can literally take out the entirety of the opposing team in like 6 shots, and they're going to hit those shots, and it's ridiculous.
On highlight reel, it's a thing where they grapple up and like spin in a circle and make their headshot and kill.
360 no scope.
Yeah.
Vintage Halo.
I remember I was really happy when my girl Diva came into the meta. Like I remember she wasn't really played that much, and then I think they reworked her shielding and all that stuff.
They gave her rockets. Yeah,
and then she was like the main tank. Like there was like dive ball compositions.
Dive comp is God. That's where it's at. I'm still waiting for my man Torbjorn to get his time to shine. Yeah. They did rework him. He's like completely different now.
Really? I haven't played in
He's weird. He can throw turrets, like throw them, and they automatically start at level 2.
Yeah.
But there's no level 3 anymore. Like he doesn't, when you molten core, he can spray lava out of his arm, and like you can go on the ground or you can spray people with it and it hurts really bad. And like he doesn't throw shields anymore. He can like do his previous version of his ult for like 3 seconds. Like, oh, I'm molten coring and I can shoot really fast again. But it's a lot different. So maybe he'll get his time. You can also go check out our very old episode featuring the voice of Torbjorn, Keith Silverstein, who was a guest a couple years ago back when Overwatch first came out. And it was really neat. Because
That is
Torbjorn's my
really
favorite
cool.
character. I played him during the beta, and I was like, I
Yep.
love this man.
Mhm.
And then I played him on every single map when the game first came out.
Yeah,
every
I remember
map.
that. Yeah, there's
We
always
on
Torbjorn.
offense? Cool, playing Torbjorn. We on
Yeah.
defense? Cool, playing Torbjorn.
Yep.
The new thing with Ashe is wait until like you've got 20 seconds left and have her ult where she sends Bob out, and Bob's like her mech friend, and he's just like this hulking robot who charges, like tackles people, they pop up, and then he fires his arm cannon and kills them.
Nice.
And so like there's just him, he charges, and then he's just like blasting his arm cannon, like you just see people racking up kills. And if you're playing the No Limits, then the entire team does that. So like you want to defend your point, and then like 4 Bobs show up and you're all dead.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good thing. Remember way back in the day when all Overwatch was no limit?
Oh yeah.
Remember
Yep.
that? I still remember one. It was one of the worst games we ever played. We went up against a team of 6 Roadhogs,
Oh,
and we got
hooked
annihilated.
everywhere.
We
Oh,
just
it's fun.
couldn't.
Fun.
It was literally within the first like 3 months of the game, and we just couldn't adapt to it. Like we didn't understand how to beat these Roadhogs.
how much have you ever faced Alex's favorite team of all Bastions?
I believe I have. And we managed to like because Bastion's so slow when you just have 6 of
Yeah.
them. Like I think we found a way around it.
I-
I'd imagine.
I saw a clip where there was like all 6 Bastions on the payload, and they were in the western town. I forget the name of it now.
El Dorado,
Yes.
Route 66.
Route 66.
Yeah.
And one Genji runs up on top of the roof of the gas station
Yeah.
and like throws like 2 stars, and all the Bastions look at him and they start firing, and Genji starts deflecting,
Hmm.
and every Bastion dies.
Oh, you must
Every-
have been
every
so
single
happy.
Like, however, 6 Bastions firing 200 bullets, and Genji deflects all of them. They all crumble. It was fantastic.
I still because of you, I still have not played a Bastion game to this day.
Good,
Like
thank
I will
you.
not play like
Respect.
that. Like because of living here, that has like ingrained into my Overwatch personality. Where
You've been infected with Bastion hate.
yeah, I was just like when I first started playing the game, you were playing it. We'd play together,
Yeah.
and you were like, "I hate Bastion. I never touched that champion or hero." And I was
Friends
like,
at
okay.
my other job know my Bastion hate, and even they're like, "Yeah, if Alex is playing Mystery Heroes and he gets Bastion, he will suicide."
Yeah, yep.
The only time I've ever played as Bastion was during the beta. I will admit, I played Bastion during the beta a little bit. I was like, this guy's cool. He has a chain gun. And during Mystery Heroes, but you can go into my profile. I believe it's still accurate. You can go check out my time played as, and you will see 0 minutes as
Yep,
Bastion.
yep.
Because fuck Bastion.
But Diva for me is ahead of everyone else. That was like I saw. Oh, Korean gamer. Yeah, that's my champion. Or
Yep.
my hero. Or
Yep.
whatever it
Vela
is.
was our go-to diva for a long time.
Yeah.
Back when because there was a time we never even did our Overwatch episode. Really, we just kind of always said
didn't.
like, oh, we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah,
But like there was a time where for like a solid 8 months, it was like every other night, it's like who's playing Overwatch tonight?
Yeah.
Who's on?
I miss that. Maybe I should
It
pick
was
it
a
back
lot
up.
of fun.
I have a couple
I-
of friends that still do that.
Yeah.
I sold my PS4 version because I got it on PC and I was just playing that all the time, but-
Ken got rid of both his PC and PlayStation 4 versions.
Oh wow.
I still have my Colin.
To make room.
Yeah, for Red Dead.
Hmm.
Colin and I have been talking about trying to start playing again. You never got off of it. You still
Nope.
play it
Yep.
consistently. But
Yeah.
I just kind of fell out. It's kind of a
Yep,
bummer.
yeah,
but
that's fun.
esports.
This
Overwatch-
episode opened with me saying to JR, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think of the KDA thing?" And he goes, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And I go, "It's a, I don't know what it is."
we still don't.
It's a K-pop song in the League of Legends universe.
And I was like,
I guess
and
that's
someone had
that's the
to
best way.
had to be explained to me. And so there's 4 characters who are from League of Legends. They're champions
Yes.
in the game,
Correct.
and they basically got reskinned, and not they got
Skins.
new-
They got
new-
They had
Yeah.
their skin ripped off.
So if
reskinned is what we call it when a Halloween prop gets a new face and
Reskin.
and sold as a new thing when it's the
Right.
same old thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's
That's
technically
right.
a reskin. Like everything, even in Overwatch, has a base.
Yeah.
And then when you get new skins, it's just getting a reskin. Of,
I'm used to calling them costumes or whatever.
okay. Yeah.
Colorways.
Yeah.
It's Final Figures now.
What is the vernacular for Overwatch? Are they skins? Are they?
I think they're costumes.
Okay.
Skin. I just call it skins.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm used to. I call everything champions. Like I know every game has like heroes
Yeah.
or whatever, but I just because leagues it's champ
Mhm.
select champions. So
And so I learned they made this really cool like music video.
Yeah.
I dug it. I hadn't seen anything like it in a long time. And then I learned like
it blew up.
and then like the voices of them are actual like K-pop singer, or half of them at least.
Yes.
And they're like real K-pop singers who
Yep.
like took on the the personalities of these champions now, and like they made this video out of it, and the video was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fantastic. And then I saw like the live version of it where they had the AR, the augmented reality
Yep.
characters on stage with the actual people. And I'm like, that looks amazing. And so you could see the people actually singing it, and then like the characters just there next to them, and that looks unreal.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And I was like, I kind of want to talk about this because they now has like 3 million views, and
It's got like 60 or 40 million now?
where it's at now.
Yeah,
Lord.
it was a lot. I know, and it came,
64 million views by now.
it's huge. Like never, I don't think anyone really expected it to garner as much as it has outside of the league community.
Mhm.
Like I think it's like even people were coming on the Reddit after the world because they premiered it at the World Finals, which is basically like the World Series or Super Bowl or
Mhm.
whatever of League of Legends. And yeah, ever since then, it just like people from not like League of Legends players would come onto the League Reddit subreddit and be
Mhm.
like, "Hey, this video is really cool," like
Mhm.
blah blah blah. So
I
The
saw it
leaks have
get
been
shared by
crazy.
a local cosplayer who I think has never played League of Legends in her life.
But yeah, so pretty much it's a skin. It's a way to promote a new skin line
Mhm.
in League of Legends, which they've been doing kind of like themes lately,
Mhm.
or not really lately, but there was always like events. So there was like the Lunar Revel, which is like usually in like January or something. It's like I think it corresponds to the Chinese New Year
Mhm.
or whatever, but it's like all like that sort of theme, like lanterns and like Chinese themed like skins, or there's like the Halloween skins. And now they've been doing like Star Guardian. Like Star Guardian is like kind of like Sailor Moony like
Okay.
style. So
Yeah.
like first they did one champion Lux, and then everyone, like all the weebs liked it, like me. And it got pretty well received and it looks cool. And then they did like a whole like another group of champions. And what's cool about it is they've been really trying to, at least in the past couple of years, is bring up the lore. Like, so it's not just the game of League of Legends, but you can go to, it's called the Universe page,
Mhm.
and you can go and look at all these short stories people are writing, like people Riot hired, not
Mhm.
like fan
Yeah.
fiction. But and what's actually really cool is there was two champions in the game, Darius and Draven. They're in this whatever. I don't have to go into the lore, but they made a comic for them, and Sana Takeda, the artist for Monstrous, did the art for it.
Oh.
And Monstrous is, I don't know, I really like Monstrous. It's like one of my favorite
It
comics.
has beautiful covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The art is good too. So she did the art for that, and they've also got some other writers and stuff to do some stuff. So it's been pretty cool. But so like to launch with some of these skins that they've been doing, which is essentially a money grab, but
Yeah.
still it's like cool if you like the game. And
Do you buy them with real money? Is that the thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's in the game. You can grind. You can buy the champions for the fake money, or you can buy like boosts or like emotes. I think no, emotes is real money too, but some other stuff like skins and stuff is real money. You have to pay real money to get them.
Yeah.
But the game's totally free to play.
You can still play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. It just makes you look cooler, and it's not like I don't know if did Battlefront, was there like pay to win style like loot boxes in that? I know people were mad because Battlefront was like you pay $60 and you have to buy the loot
For
things.
the Star Wars Battlefront?
Yeah.
For 2 there was more problems than 1, I
Right.
believe. But there was like scenery unlocks, but I don't recall if there was like weapon unlocks in those
Right.
loot boxes or not.
But yeah, all the money stuff for League is cosmetic, so it's like
I didn't like the new Battlefront, so I didn't get to,
yeah, I
because
didn't
I was too
try
stuck
it.
on the original Battlefront in Battlefront 2 that I played way back on original
Right.
Xbox, and like so much had changed, and I couldn't get back into it. I think we talked about it before. There was like a country in Europe who like banned loot boxes in Overwatch.
It's becoming more frequent because it's like gambling, they say.
Right.
But like, it's not altering the game. It's just your costume. It's cosmetic, like you said.
But you spend money on it. And
I
the
know there was
outcome is
like
random.
a big thing with like phone games too. I think it was in Korea or Japan or something where there was like certain like loot restrictions on loot because it is like gambling in a way.
It's randomized, but it's not affecting the gameplay.
Right.
It's like you just might look shinier or sparklier.
Yeah. So the thing about League has that system now where you can buy like Hextech chests, they're called, and they can contain loot shards that you can, get into like skins and stuff. But you can always just buy whatever straight out, which is kind of what I liked. Like that's one of the things about Overwatch. It's nice because like you get a decent amount of loot boxes in Overwatch. Yeah. But sometimes I just want to be like, I want this Diva skin and I want to just buy it. I guess you have to.
Got to save up your coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But.
So I was like, I said, when are we getting a full album of KDA?
Yeah.
Because they, as people were saying on the internet, they made a banger.
Yeah, the song I like K-pop. So actually, funny story. Like all these skins pretty much are sold directly to me because like I love K-pop and I play all those champions. Like everyone, like when I play jungle, I play Evelyn, who's the hot one with the. I guess
they're all kind of
like she's like supposed to be the sexy sassy
was
one.
The glasses one with the claws.
Yeah,
I like
she's
her.
the jungler, and then Akali used to be my first main champion. Ari was my second main champion, and then I just picked up Kaisa as my AD carry if I play AD carry. So it's like
as someone who's a total
okay.
If you listen to any of Ryan's past episodes, he's explained jungler.
Yeah.
And main.
Main is like
is what path you would take.
No, main is like who you play the most.
Okay.
So like if I think of Alex, I think of a Mei main in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like you play
Ice bitch,
and you're a Torbjorn main.
I wouldn't say I'm a Torbjorn main.
That's evolved since then.
It has. Okay. I only use Torbjorn on like 2 maps now.
All right.
It's kind of a bummer.
Who's
but
your
I had
main
to.
now?
If I had to pick like a main,
he was rotating between Junkrat and Zenyatta for a bit.
Okay.
Like I'd probably say Junkrat would be number 1.
Okay.
But
so that's what a main is. A main is just like the main champion, your main.
So what was the lion term or Rose? The paths?
The different paths. So I'll give you a quick overview. There's 3 lanes.
Lanes, that's it.
Each lane has
Rose.
It's
sorry.
similar.
Columns? What's it in Excel?
So there's top lane, which is in the top, or top, which goes into the top lane.
Yeah.
Mid, which goes in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Bottom, which is 2 roles. There's a support and an AD carry. So the AD carry just focuses on farming, and the support supports them. And then there's a jungler who goes in between the lanes.
Yeah.
He farms neutral creeps and tries to affect the lanes by like ganking, which is like showing up randomly. And
Yeah.
Okay. So,
when you say like, I play this, they're a jungler. Does that mean they have to play that position, or it's best suited for being a jungler?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
There are some champions that like are created. Well, most champions are created with like a lane in mind.
You don't play Mercy to go DPS.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But with items and stuff that League offers, there are different build paths to go. So there are champions that start in a role but then get shifted to a different role. So like just off the top of my head, Annie. There's a champion called Annie. She's a little girl with a pyromancer, and she like summons a big bear called Tibbers, her stuffed bear. It becomes giant and on fire, and she one of her things is when she uses 4 of her abilities, she has a stun. The next ability she lands on someone will stun them for a couple seconds. She was a mid lane created primarily, and then someone started taking her support in the pro scene, and now she's basically a support. Like you still see her in mid lane, but so roles can shift.
Right.
But yeah, so like most of the time, if they're in that role, like Evelyn, who's the jungler, who's the girl with the glasses, her kit just doesn't really suit outside of jungle because she goes invisible and she wants to just surprise you. So I've seen people play her in other roles recently with a rework, because when her old kit, she used to be in the mid lane sometimes, and it just doesn't feel very strong. So that's why people don't really.
If I were playing a different game, would a kit be like a skill tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like a kit would be like their abilities.
So like if I like in Borderlands,
Yeah.
when I would level up, it's like I could choose to be my character be more of a bombardier and like focus more on explosives, or I could have them be more of a sniper.
Right.
And then like their powers would affect how well they sniper, what bonuses I would get from that. But I could choose to do like some of everything.
Yeah. Yes, in a way, but like the kit is in League of Legends, a champion's kit is more rooted,
right?
Because like it's their abilities. Their kit is like, you know, like I'll just go with an overview of Evelyn. Like Evelyn's passive is when she hits level 6, she becomes stealthed, so you can't see her on the map unless she's near you, and she regains health every couple seconds if she's below a certain threshold while she's stealthed. Her like Q is like, so each ability, each champion's got 4 abilities and a passive. One of those abilities is an ultimate ability that you unlock at level 6 usually. Some champions there's a couple exceptions to that, but her Q is, it's a skill shot. When it hits something, she can tap it again 3 different times, and like these like spikes will go through people and deal magic damage. Her W is a charm, so she targets someone with it. It's got a pretty wide range, and after a couple seconds, a heart will appear above them. And if she auto attacks them or hits them with an ability, it charms them. They'll start walking towards her slowly, and they can't like not walk towards her. And then her E is a dash.
So it was just like baiting. Right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Did I get that right?
Masterfully?
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No, is this a PG podcast? Did I?
Well,
just
no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
So we did an episode when you weren't here, and we talked about League of Legends.
Oh my god!
I know. We said like Ryan should be here for this.
Yeah.
Because some team or like some college had made an AI.
Wow. I didn't hear about this.
They made an AI to play the game.
Yep.
And like it played like 600 hours of League of Legends, and then they had it play top players, and it beat them because like it learned its own tactics. It had to learn on its own like how to score points, and that was good, and then continue figuring out how, and then it was playing against like itself so many times, and like how to do this, and so all the tactics that players actually use, it was doing it better.
Jeez.
And like it developed those tactics as well,
and it does
like,
them perfectly.
Yeah, and just so perfect. And so the thing of like, it would attack and then immediately back up to draw them towards the turrets or the to bait them to come attack
to the rows.
Yeah, is that the columns?
Whenever you keep saying rose, I imagine like an actual rose. Like I don't imagine rose
like a flower.
I think of a boat.
My mind goes boats. Yeah.
Okay,
but
like rowing a boat.
Yeah.
So when you were like getting to attract, to walk towards you, I was like, right, so you could back into a a defensive position or something.
It's just they can't do anything, so then you can just kill them because she does a lot of damage. But so it's just better. It's harder to get that because like if you see her in the lane, it's like harder to get that charm off, and you can kind of avoid it better than if she's coming from a different angle you don't expect.
So when the video came out,
yes,
I was entranced, and I wanted to know more about it, and I looked up the live performance. And then I looked up a few more things. And before like the wave of nonsense came through, I was able to catch like a couple good, cool things that were actually good. And some guy did like a half-hour review of the video itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he like broke it down like practically scene by scene. And one of the things that was kind of neat.
That's dedicated.
But like he was breaking it down from a filmmaker animation like standpoint. And he's like, I don't know anything about K-pop, so if I'm missing K-pop obvious stuff, then I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if they're doing like, performance things or dance things or something, he's like, I'm not going to know it. But he focused a lot on like the camera was constantly moving away from the car. So like whatever angle you were seeing, the camera's moving, but you didn't realize it because it was tricking you. And then anytime, what was the girl with the glasses?
Evelyn.
Almost anytime you see her, she's not center focus on the camera. She's usually
driving.
She's usually off center. She's not main center, and the only time she is when she was in background for the graffiti girl.
Okay.
And even then, like she was in the center, but like not animated or doing anything because the other girl was like moving side to side. And then while Graffiti Girl is doing her rap part and she's wearing a bandana, it looks like the mouth is moving. It's not moving. It's like when you used to play the old LCD games and like it would just animate Spider-Man's arm in a different position.
Yeah.
Instead of his arm actually moving, it just like the block with his hand down here disappears and the block up here mid-range appears.
That's
and so the mouth on her bandana is doing that.
Yeah.
But like so fast that you can't really tell.
So like a lot of work went into that video.
Oh yeah, there was a lot that it went into it. It was neat.
That's cool, yeah.
And so like having these things get broken down, I was like, oh okay. And I didn't like want to watch the whole thing because the guy, he was getting kind of repetitive sometimes, so I kind of bounced around. But it was interesting having this stuff pointed out to me and having someone like freeze frame it in a few spots. And I go, I want to do that because the video travels so fast. It's like, will you slow down, please?
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch what's happening.
Right.
Some quick stats, real quick.
Yeah.
Looks like the song has now been named the #1 track on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart.
Really?
Let's see here.
I've listened to it a lot on Spotify, and I remember like 3 days, I think, after it came out, or 2 days, it was already at 3 million like plays.
Yep.
Spotify.
The song reached. This is according to. I found a random article on GamerRevolution.com. Never seen this site before, but they have some info. A song reached number 10 on the Billboard's Pop Digital Song Sales, number 30 in digital song sales. Track has been streamed over 15 million times on Spotify and has 57 million views on YouTube.
Ooh.
Each skin matches the design of the. Is it K-Da? Is it like Diva?
K-Da
or KDA?
KDA, like Kill Deaths Assists.
Okay.
Yep.
All the skins are available for 1,350 Riot points,
which is roughly
$10.
nine something. Because I think you can get 1380 for 10 on
right.
Online. Yeah.
Why not just make it like 1,000?
Yeah, because it's like
it's got to be 1380.
Is there a foreign exchange?
Yeah,
it's like the whole like Microsoft. Remember that like the coins or whatever. I don't know if it's still like that, but during Xbox 360,
I can't remember what Microsoft used.
You'd have to buy like whatever. It was like $5 was like 400. It was some weird arbitrary number, and you'd always be left with like 30.
Yeah, that's why I like PlayStation, man. How much is that? $5.
Yep.
Cool. Put $5 in my account, and I'm gonna buy this thing for $5.
Nintendo does the same thing on the Switch. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I finally got a Switch, I think last year, and it's one of my favorite consoles.
God, just get a Switch. If you don't already own a Switch, just get a Switch.
Oh, it's great.
If not for Smash coming out in like a couple months or next month.
I always like Zach and I would always talk about like how it's dumb Nintendo does some stuff sometimes, but like the Switch is a good console. Like some of the stuff they did was a little, but like
a lot of people were kind of iffy on the online.
I like it.
Like
I mean, it's $20.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I haven't actually pwned up the dough yet. Yeah, but like
I've just been doing
for what?
To play online games.
Yeah, so like how
kind of like PlayStation Network.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nintendo was
to have that.
And I was like, you can't do that.
Nintendo was free for the first like year.
Yeah,
and then they were like, okay, we're gonna start charging now.
And it's always been free before that.
Yep.
But what's cool about it is they give you.
Shit. How do you play Splatoon?
I haven't played Splatoon since like the second month after it came out. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I kind of haven't played that.
The only game I would play online like with any sort of consistency was Mario Kart.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Because it's just so easy. Just hop on for like a couple races and it was simple.
Wait, has there been a Mario Party that went online?
Yes,
it just came out.
It just came out. I'm actually going to my brother's house on Sunday to play it.
I have not played it yet because I haven't played a Mario Party since like 8 or 7.
I haven't played a Mario Party since GameCube.
Because all I've known, like Mario Party is fun when you're in a party.
Yeah.
And you're all in the same room.
Yes.
And then someone, throws shit at you because you took all their stars.
Right. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
But was it the same with people online? Would that be as fun?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine there's probably ways to game this. I would prefer to play it in a group, like I'm going to do on Sunday at my brother's birthday party. He's having a thing, and or rather, his husband's having a thing. He doesn't know about the thing yet. And we're all gonna go over and play Mario Party, and I'm excited because I haven't played Mario Party in so long, and I'm excited to play it. Like I love everything about the Switch. I just want to play the Switch all the time.
Who are you gonna use?
I told Colin I would use Waluigi for him. And Colin's a big Waluigi apologist. Um,
I'm just wondering why this is a thing. Like, I guess like he should be in the game, sure, but everyone.
Colin had a sign at he went to Raw and he had a sign that said "Put Waluigi and smash you cowards."
Nice.
Um,
Speaking of segueing into WWE, they're doing a League of Legends thing now too.
get out.
Oh.
Yeah, with Up Up Down Down is Xavier Woods' gaming channel.
Right.
And it's 2 streamers from League of Legends, Tyler One and Cutie Pie, and they're coaching teams. One's NXT and one's WWE, and they're going to be playing each other at War Games, which I think is an NXT event.
Huh.
But yeah, so Team WWE is Cesaro, Seth Rollins,
Okay.
Ruby Riott, and Tyler Breeze. And then Cutie Pie is coaching them. And then Tyler One's team at NXT is Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Dakota Kai, and Shayna Baszler, who are newer people. I don't know Dakota Kai or Shayna Baszler too much. I haven't really been watching.
I don't know
WWE.
much about NXT.
Yeah. I know Johnny Gargano because my friend's a big fan of him. He's pretty good. And I know Adam Cole because I love NJPW and Ring of Honor. And Adam Cole is Adam Cole, baby. I hope he says that. He better yell it out.
I thought it was
He gets a kill.
EC3, baby. I thought he did that too.
Did he do it too?
Does
I
Ethan
don't know.
Carter III do that?
don't
He's
know.
in NXT now.
Yeah, he is in NXT now.
We saw him wrestle that one time.
We
Remember?
did.
It was against CJ Parker,
Yeah.
the artist formerly known
Yeah.
as CJ Parker.
He's been doing well. I haven't.
He threw him
watched
into my
any
chair.
wrestling.
And I didn't get out of my
move, dude.
Nice. I haven't watched much wrestling lately. I've just been kind of like keeping up on it on the internet.
Mhm.
I just watched Botchamania because I'm a terrible person.
But he's been doing pretty good over in NJPW. CJ Parker, Juice
Good for
Robinson,
him.
whatever his name is. He's going
Yeah, he
by now.
changed.
Yeah.
Like we saw his retirement of the name CJ Parker.
Mhm.
Like that was
Oh,
the last
that-
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, NXT gave him an awful gimmick.
Oh.
That whole like hippie thing. Was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a heel that you could be like, yay. Like, I mean, I guess they were like giving him an annoying gimmick because he was like a heel, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Tyler Breeze was just on the Magic Hour, which is Penny Arcade's new show where they play Magic with like various
Oh, nice.
celebrities and personalities. They did it with Morgan Webb, the previous episode.
Mhm.
They always have like
Do they have on people that know how to play Magic? Or
yeah, like they
do
had
have to, like,
a couple
teach
weeks ago
them?
they had Disguised Toast on.
Oh, nice.
We talked about him with Chris Hastings way back.
He was at PAX last year, wasn't he?
Probably
I think he was. I know Scar was there, and
like
he's
Bobby
a
Scar.
no, Scar is
Oh.
a League of Legends person. Also, Pokimane, who lives in that same house, and she plays Fortnite now.
Mhm.
They had a bunch of people, but I know I'm pretty sure Disguised Toast was there with them because I think
He's
I
a cool.
saw him.
He's
He
one of the
was
top.
short.
He's one of the top
shorter
like
than I expected.
Hearthstone players.
Yep.
And we talked about him with Hastings because there's a card. What is
Okay.
it like S7 agent or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And then whenever you play, the guy goes, "This guy's toast."
Yeah.
And then there's a streamer named Disguised Toast,
Uh-huh.
and his symbol is like a piece of toast with like sunglasses
He
and
used
a mustache.
to wear that on stream. I follow him. Yeah, I like Disguised Toast.
And he's funny. Like I remember last year I was watching his stream like on Christmas, and he was dressed up as Santa Claus, and he would go into a game and he'd play a couple rounds, and then he'd just concede, and he's like, "Merry Christmas,"
Yeah. I like that. He's pretty good.
and he was on an episode of the Magic Hour.
Nice.
And,
I like Day 9. Like
I
he
love
did,
Day
he did
9.
Spell Slingers and stuff.
He is
where
my
does-
favorite
so
streamer.
that's
He's one of like I love that
Oh,
man.
yeah, I forgot.
I love
how much you
everything
love
about Day 9.
Yeah. So like when I watch Magic content, I
Spell
like
Slingers
that.
is good though. He has a lot of like,
Yeah.
big names on there too.
Yeah, and then another good one, which I just started because my friend got me into it. They also do the Command Zone podcast. Is Jimmy Wong and Josh Lee Kai do a Magic? Jimmy Wong is Rocket Jump. He was
okay.
what was his character in Rocket Jump?
I don't
He was
know.
the.
I just know the name Rocket
Did
Jump.
you watch VGHS?
Nope.
Oh, okay. He was on that. He was he's worked a lot with Freddie Wong, and he also did. He's jumped around a lot. He's done League content. He's done Hearthstone, maybe, I don't know. But he's done Magic content, and he has a Commander podcast with this guy Josh Lee Kai, and they do a YouTube series called Game Nights, where they have people on that they play Commander, and like each new set comes out. They did one for like Ixalan and all this Magic stuff. But I think Day 9 was on an episode, and they also do like they have some bigger people coming on. Like there's a football player who played for the Panthers. he plays a lot of Magic, but it's like cool to see people you don't normally would associate with like nerd culture who are getting involved.
Yeah.
I saw a GIF of two football players doing the fusion dance.
Right?
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's kind of unfair to say that because like it doesn't matter what you do, you can still be like into certain things, but when
it's
people
neat
talk
to see
about
it in the mainstream.
Yes, and then when people talk about like sports, like big sports, like football and stuff like that, you don't normally associate these people being like, oh, I'm gonna go home and play Magic after I play a football game or do whatever. So,
like, I remember the first like
You know why they train so hard? Because Goku trains hard.
there you go.
it's like the
Train insane.
the fabled legend of Vin Diesel teaching Judi Dench how to play D&D on the set of Chronicles of Riddick. Because Vin Diesel's a huge nerd. I almost dropped it hard there. Matt Mercer has that one show.
Critical Role.
Well, yeah, he has Critical Role, but he also
that's
has
all I know him from.
Celebrity D&D,
Okay.
and he played with like Terry Crews.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, right. Like, I want to play D&D with Terry Crews.
He was talking.
Come on.
Where did
Crazy.
I saw something where he was talking about how he was building a computer for his son or something. Terry Crews. And
Terry Crews, man. Everyone's trying to be like Terry Crews.
Oh God. I love
Well,
that. His dance on the lip sync battle when he does the Vanessa Carlton song is amazing.
he's the man should aspire to be.
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
Watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I should.
It's so good. If
I've,
you
I
like
watched
The
like the
Office
first
or
couple
Parks
seasons,
and Rec,
not seasons, episodes of the first season, and then I kind of dropped. But I haven't really been watching much TV lately.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Most TV sucks. I just finished House of Cards today.
Yeah.
What was once my favorite show in existence. Anyways,
The last
The
show I
Good Place
fully
is
remember.
fun.
Oh, I have to finish. I'm halfway through. They took a break in season 2, I think, at some point.
I don't know. I know they're halfway through season 3 right now.
Okay, so the last thing I
watch it
remember
on Hulu.
watching was spoiler alert was
Yeah, Good Place spoilers.
Yeah.
Wait, do you ever plan on watching The Good Place?
I don't know. I've been told about it.
All right. Well, he won't understand. But
And the most I've heard was that apparently Ted Danson is amazing.
yeah,
He's great.
He's very good.
Yep. Ted Danson is great.
The last thing I saw was spoilers. Janet made herself a boyfriend, and it was Jason Mantzoukas.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was. I think that's where I kind of stopped watching.
Yeah.
I remember they took a break. They were like, "Oh, we're taking like a mid-season break," and then I just never picked it back up.
It's
But
good.
I gotta get back into it because it's funny. This show is funny.
Like first season, I was like, okay, yeah, that was enjoyable. Second season, I was like, what is happening? And now, like halfway through the third season, like it's one of those like I'm falling in love with this show. It's so
Okay.
like
all
it's
right, I'll get back on it.
it's very good.
That the first season, the end of the first season is like
Right.
woo! I did not expect it. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, the show is funny and it's an interesting like take. So
It's good. It's
but
good.
anyways,
So
esports. Should we get back to the esports?
The esports.
So they did the KDA thing. They did a whole Worlds. It just happened November 3rd.
Who won?
What happened? It was Invictus Gaming from China. So there's a couple big things about that. This is the first
It
year.
wasn't SK Telecom,
That's one of them. SK Telecom was not at the tournament this year.
which is huge.
They did not do very well in the LCK, which is the Korean.
They're like
home
they're like the Yankees of esports.
of
Like
League of Legends.
yeah,
Because I
like-
don't think they have like a Counter Strike team.
right. like Faker is. I keep making the joke like pre-show like Faker. Oh my god, Faker is like
The best
as
League
big of a
Legends player.
celebrity as you can be in League of Legends.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
yo, it's Faker. Holy
Yeah.
shit, he's wearing the jacket.
They there's what is it? Faker Playmaker is one of his nicknames. The other one is the Unkillable Demon King. He's that good. He's that good. He just like pressures you in lane, like makes you like work for every CS, which is creep score, which how you get gold in League of Legends is passively you get like a gold every couple seconds or something, but like if you last hit a minion in lane, which are these like NPCs that walk towards each other and then fight each other, if you last hit you get gold from that or killing people. And he challenges you on every CS. From what I've heard from players that play against him, like you go up for this minion and there's Faker like getting in your face and making you work hard for that. So you have to choose between, do I do damage to Faker or do I take this minion right now? Because his wave management, which is the waves of minions, is just so good. It's just crazy. Like, it's funny because watching, at least for me, my perspective watching the LCK this year, I know other people online, I guess opinions are everywhere, but didn't really think he I don't know. I've seen some people say he didn't really look that good this year, but I feel like it felt like it was Faker trying to 1v9. But I mean, they did end up subbing him out halfway through the season and put in this guy Pyrian, who actually played in the NALCS last year. And they got a couple wins that way. And I remember there was a big thing people were talking about because Bang, I think it was Bang, the AD carry for SK Telecom, was saying that when Faker's not in the game, they were able to all talk. Like, they all play around Faker when Faker's like in the game because he's the best player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to play around your best player.
Yeah.
Whereas this way it allowed more voices and more options for play to come in. And so they were able to win a little bit more that way. But then when playoffs came in, they put Faker back in. But they didn't, I don't think it was really Faker's fault so much as like their top laner wasn't that good and their jungler wasn't that good. And then their support, Wolf, who is, I guess he's had health issues or something, so he's kind of taking a back seat. And so there's that. But Korea on a whole, like usually like South Korea in strategy games, at least mostly I feel, they dominate. Like they dominated StarCraft. Like there's a reason why there were Koreans and foreigners. Like StarCraft is made by Blizzard, an American company.
Yeah.
And the people who aren't Korean are called foreigners. It's like you could be from America and you're labeled as a foreigner. Like that's crazy. But even Overwatch, like I think like every like Overwatch League, there used to be a Korean league, and then there was like tournaments and stuff, and then now Blizzard is like, oh, here's the Overwatch League, and there's teams from all these different areas, like kind of like endemic sports, where you have like a team in London and a team in New York, like we were talking about. I think everyone, is there a team that does not have a Korean player on it? Like I think like almost every team has a Korean.
I remember
player.
like one of the big things. It's like, it's like we got the London Spitfire with I think like at one point their entire team was made up of Korean players.
Yeah. So like even Overwatch, they're like, which I think generally like shooters were like Europeans or like North Americans were really good at shooters, like CS:GO. A lot of the top teams are European, like Fnatic. And
I'm with you on CS:GO too, by the way. Like I've never played a single second of Counter-Strike because I've never had a computer that could actually handle it.
Yeah.
I've seen people play it, but like watching like the big stuff, I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea who any of the players are, but it's fascinating.
Right. Yeah.
I love watching like top tier like competitive CS:GO. It's unbelievable.
Especially when someone clutches them around.
It's ridiculous. Like how do you even like they snipe so quickly? I'm like, wait, he hit him?
Yeah.
When did he hit him?
Right.
How did he?
When did he see him?
Yeah, he didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
He's shooting at air. But
so back to League of Legends, this Worlds is the first year since season 1 that a Korean team has not been in the finals.
Season 1 was in 2013?
2010, 2011?
Jesus.
2011? Yeah, League of Legends is going to be 10 years old next year.
That's insane.
2009 was when it went out of beta, October 2009. I think season 1 was 20, because we're on season 8. So 2010 would be season 1?
Right.
I guess.
If you do the math.
Yeah, so season 1, there was no, the Koreans, I don't think there was a Korean server yet. So it was Europe and North America, but I think the finals was all Europe, was 2 European teams, and Fnatic won, which they were in the finals this year, which is big because it's the first year that a Western team had been in the finals since season 1.
Right.
So like season 1 was Fnatic versus I think AAA, and then Against All Authority was their name. And then season 2 was Zubu Frost, who was the Korean team, versus the Taipei Assassins.
That's a cool name.
And then season 3 was SK Telecom versus Royal Never Give Up, or they were called Star Horn Royal Club at the time. That has Uzi on the team. He's like another player that's like really popular. He's like labeled as like one of the best AD carries in the world. Like, so Faker's a mid laner, and then Uzi's an AD carry. And then so that's season 3. So season 4 was Samsung versus Royal Never Give Up again. And Samsung was the Korean team. Then season 5 was SKT again. And that was when people started making the joke like, oh, it like Worlds is LCK Autumn. So like there's like 2 splits. There's spring and summer. And since the finals, season 5, season 6, and season 7 were 2 Korean teams against each other. So it was like, oh, it's time for the LCK Autumn Finals. Let's watch that, So that was SKT versus, I believe, the Rocks Tigers.
I remember that one.
And then the next year was
That's like
SKT
the one that
again.
I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then the next year was SKT versus Samsung again, and SKT won. And then last year was Samsung and SKT again, and Samsung won. So this is the first time. So all the Korean teams got knocked out by the quarterfinals.
which is unheard of.
Right. It hasn't happened in a long time. Yeah, in a long time for League of Legends. So that was big. Cloud9, which is the team
I was just
follow,
going to ask how C9 doing.
They
or how'd they do?
3-0 to Korean team,
Good.
which is huge. And it was the first time North America as a region had made it to the semifinals since season 1. So that was pretty big. And then, the finals was Fnatic versus Invictus Gaming. And I think there was a lot of... if you could pull up the stats on that one. I don't know how many viewers there were. I know people were saying that it was like one of the most watched, but I know there was like one a couple years ago that was like supposedly the most watched like eSports event.
What's their what's the final thing called?
Worlds finals, yeah. So that's where they premiered the KDA music video. Or they like showed it in the background. They had the dancers come out. It was their opening ceremony. And that's another thing that's pretty crazy is what I noticed is I was watching football this past weekend, and when they go back to like the desk where they're talking to everyone, it's like State Farm is on it. And League of Legends also has State Farm as a sponsor. So that's pretty big if you think like State Farm is sponsoring like the NFL and they're also sponsoring League of Legends.
Yeah.
But it was a joke because, in between all the games, it's like, all right, we're going to head over to the State Farm analyst desk. And then they talk about the game and break it down. And...
Yeah, it's like, I think people have learned like, you got to get in on it. Because like esports is only growing. Like I remember when it first, like when ESPN announced like their esports division, it was this isn't a sport, this isn't a sport. And, like it still gets like all the not a sport. Why am I seeing this? Not a sport. But like okay, you can say that as much as you want, but it doesn't change the fact that it's like. Couldn't you watch the Overwatch League finals on ESPN or something like that?
Yeah, it was something. I know they made there's been deals going left and right with like streaming services and stuff. Like I know Riot was supposed to ink a deal with this like service that primarily streamed baseball or did something with baseball. I don't know if it ever went through. But yeah, I distinctly remember because, I got into esports pretty heavily around season 2 of League of Legends. That's when I realized, oh, hey, this is actually really interesting to me. I want to watch this. And then got into like other stuff. But,
so taking a look, according to, I'm at esc.wat. I don't know what site this is. But it said there's an infographic here for Worlds 2018. Peak viewers, including, for some reason, they include the Chinese viewers, and then they take out numbers excluding Chinese viewers. Apparently, that's a big deal.
Maybe because there's a lot.
But it says, including Chinese viewers, the peak viewers count was 205,348,063 people.
Wow.
Excluding Chinese viewers, it was 1,958,619 people.
So like
average, it was like 204 million difference.
Wow.
Average viewership, including Chinese viewers, was 46 million.
Wow.
The finals was watched by 205 million people.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense because China, that's one of their teams was in the finals.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And it was in Korea this year, so I'm assuming the time zones would have been a little bit closer. Because like I actually had to work the next day, so I didn't watch the finals when it happened. I think I started watching some of the opening ceremony, but then went to bed. But I think the final started at 4 a.m. our time.
Mm-hmm.
So I did stay up for the Cloud9 game though, and they got stomped by Fnatic.
Oh.
I mean, to get beat by one, almost the champs. Did Fnatic win? No, Fnatic didn't win.
The IG ended up stomping Fnatic, which was crazy because Worlds is like a month-long tournament. There's like nowadays there's so many different regions. So there's 5 major regions. There's the NALCS, which is North America. There's the EULCS, which is Europe, and then there's Korea, which is LCK. There's China, which is the LPL, and there's Taiwan has their own league, the LMS. Huh. Those are the 5 major regions. And then there's a bunch of other smaller regions. There's LAN, which is Latin America North. There's LAS, which is Latin America South. There's Brazil, which has their own. Turkey, Russia has its own league. Oceania, which is Australia and New Zealand. Japan. So all these places have their own leagues now. And the smaller leagues have to go in through the play-ins, which is like a week before Worlds officially starts. And based on your performance that year, because they have MSI, which is the mid-season invitational that happens in the mid-season, where a bunch is another international tournament. It's kind of like a mini Worlds almost. And based on how you do at those international events and Worlds dictates like if you have to send a team to the play-ins. So major regions get 3 seeds. So North America has like the first place The first place team, whoever wins summer, like the summer split, if you
Mm-hmm.
win first place, you get automatically you're in Worlds. The second place team has to win by points. So you get points each split. So
Mm-hmm.
the spring split is you get like 90 points for first place, 70 points for second place, and it goes down like that.
Mm.
And then the summer split, you get, automatically seeded in if you are first place, and you get 90 points for second place, 70 points for third. So it's a little bit higher. So you want to do better in the summer than in the spring. But your second seed, based on points, gets in also to Worlds. But your third seed for North America has to go through play-ins. So there's one seed from each of the major regions except for Korea because they had won enough. So all 3 of their seeds went right into Worlds. So China's third place had to go through play-ins. North America's third place, which is my team, Cloud9, had to go through play-ins. And Europe's third, which was G2 eSports, had to go through play-ins. And then LMS's Mad team, no, it was G-Rex was the name of the team. They had to go through play-ins. And they play all these minor regions. And then once you do that, if you win, you get seeded into a group. There's 4 groups in Worlds. Cloud9.
Yo.
Am I going too fast? I'm trying to like get through all of it. You want me to take it back?
So
Okay.
I can't keep up right now.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. It's a lot of
Just-
information.
Just to start off
Yeah.
with the regions
Okay.
and then the team names.
Oh yeah, that's
and
crazy.
And now like you're on to the brackets.
Yeah.
And like how the brackets are set up.
I'm sorry. I'm used to like talking to people who know about league stuff, and,
Yeah.
and it is a lot. Like now that I'm
People
saying it
who
out
know
loud,
about Rose, just
Yeah.
not-
kiss from a rose, like that. That's a rose, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
exactly that.
Okay. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of information to break it down.
and
but-
it's very popular according to these, because even like you watch most esports stuff nowadays, like Evo will get like a couple 100,000 people watching maybe.
yeah.
Like this had excluding Chinese viewers, 1.9 million people,
Yeah.
and then 205 million with Chinese viewers. That's insane.
Right.
Like it's unbelievably large how big that is. Like I don't know what the Super Bowl pulls down, but like man, 205 million people is a lot of people.
But you also have to remember that League of Legends it's a world thing. Whereas how many people are watching the Super Bowl? Like people in America, maybe some people outside of it.
Let's see. The latest Super Bowl in 2017, blah, blah, blah. 103.4 million viewers on average. So like,
Half.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, the Chinese don't really give a shit about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're not. So that's a lot of Chinese viewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a lot.
Esports.
I wish Evo was more popular. I love watching Evo.
Mhm.
I wish
I
I, was.
love-
oh,
yeah.
It's so exciting.
Evo and CEO are like the two that I love watching.
Yeah.
Like, I
Oh.
really hope they don't get rid of like, I especially love tuning in for Melee, but I
Yeah.
understand Melee is old as shit, and they, but I love watching high level competitive Melee, especially at Evo.
Yeah.
But
I think it was that CEO this year was the New Day versus the Elite, just more wrestling
oh
stuff.
god, Kenny Omega was just going ham.
I love watching that. I think
oh my god.
I think they got together before that because they went to 5 when he was playing against Xavier Woods, who they both
he was sandbagging him.
yes,
Like he
had to have been because
He extended that.
they've both been on Excellent Adventures, which is Gutex and Mike Ross, who are Street Fighter guys.
Yep.
And I think Mike Ross left, so I don't think Gutex has been doing it that much, but they were both on that. And I remember they were training Xavier Woods, but Kenny Omega was already pretty good at Street Fighter
he knows
4.
how to play.
And he plays. He's talked about how he's played in arcades in Japan with people who like I don't know if he's played Daigo, but I think he's played with like Fudo or maybe some like top
Yeah.
Japanese like Street Fighter players. So he knows how to play the game. So yeah, when I was watching that and I saw like Xavier, it went to 5 games. I was like, and then Kenny Omega just like easily won the last 2. I was like, yeah, he had to have been just kind of
He was
making it a
totally
show.
sandbagging. He was extending the show,
Yep.
giving people what, because like he was shit talking
Yeah.
and like there's like the most famous one that like I saw a lot all over the internet was like, they were shit talking a little bit and like New Day had their like they weren't really saying anything. Kenny Omega picks up the mic. He's like, "What is it? Are they waiting for the writing team to come up with their comebacks?" He's like, "God damn, Kenny Omega!" Like he shredded him.
I love Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada are some of my favorite wrestlers.
Yep.
I got back into wrestling a couple years ago.
The Golden Lovers.
Yeah. Oh, that was great too. Oh. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, we should.
That could be a whole other podcast about wrestling.
Yeah, right. We're gonna start our OMV wrestling spinoff soon.
Right.
I just need to start watching wrestling. Apparently.
Yeah. It's actually
Triple H tore his pec and it was gruesome. You guys see that picture?
That was quite a bruise.
Yeah.
Vile.
That was some
it was
serious
just like
bruise.
hanging down, right? It was like weird.
Leaving Shawn Michaels and Undertaker to try and carry that match.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nah, they should have
and
let
then-
him stay retired.
There was like then like Kane's mask came off.
Yeah,
and
his
stuff.
mask and wig came off.
Yeah.
The newly elected official.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yep, his mask and wig both came off.
Yeah, it's like all right, it's time to hang up the tights, guys.
I saw a video clip of like a circ performer who tore up his pec.
Oof.
Didn't get it repaired. Just kept on practicing.
Why?
Oh,
He didn't want to take the time off to heal,
Right.
so he just kept going and made the rest of his muscles adapt to take over the strain.
Oh.
Yeah.
that sounds.
And think of like
crazy.
doing like the ring pull-ups and everything.
No.
And like however many tricks they do with that and folding yourself over while
Mm-hmm.
doing a pull-up on a hanging ring. Yeah.
No, thank you.
So what I'm saying is Triple H is a wimp. Just keep doing the show.
Just keep wrestling, Jesus.
Didn't he? I thought he kind of, or was he just?
I don't
He was
know.
kind of there, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well, but
he got put through a table and the monitors were still in it.
Yeah.
But like this gymnast guy, like he wasn't gonna have his pec put back together. That was the whole point of him just keep going. And there's a picture of him now, and like his pec's not there. There's
I don't want to.
there's muscle on one side, and then there's just nothing on the other side. But his shoulder's huge.
That just sounds
Compensate.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
And
It's probably real stupid too.
Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do. Devotion. Yeah, I think we're just about done. We've
Yeah.
been rambling about the esports for a while.
But anyways,
And,
the finals were good. I mean, I kind of feel bad because I didn't really want. I mean, Fnatic did beat the team that I was rooting for, but IG had been playing so well this whole tournament. Like rookie, like just to go really quickly, just to touch on the finals before we end it. So the month-long tournament happened. There's group stages, blah blah blah. It was a bunch of upsets happened, But just to go to the finals was actually, just to touch back on Cloud9 real quick, because they're my boys. But they started the season in 10th place. They were made some roster changes that everyone was giving them shit for, which they were losing. So but then they pulled it out. They hit second place by the end of the summer split. Were able to win through the gauntlet to go to Worlds as the third seed. There's a gauntlet. There's like the bottom teams, like the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place teams. I think play each other to basically see who's going to go as the third seed to Worlds. Cloud9 won that. They go to Worlds, and then they get seeded into the group of death. Everyone was calling. Everyone was sure that RNG was going to win, which is World Never Give Up, the team with Uzi on it, and they were the Chinese team. They had won MSI that year. They had been winning international tournaments. They looked really good. Everyone thought they were going to win. They got taken out by G2 eSports, which is a European team. But Cloud9 had been in the group with Samsung, the team that had previously won Worlds last year. RNG and Vitality from Europe. So everyone was like, Cloud9's not going to make it out.
Right.
They made it out in second place after playing a tiebreaker against RNG. And then they ended up beating Afrika Freaks, who is the second place Korean team, and then going to semifinals where they lost to Fnatic. So they went from 10th place to semifinals at Worlds, which was pretty good. But the finals was IG versus Fnatic, and Rookie and the Shy, which is the top laner is the Shy and Rookie is the mid laner for IG, played crazy. They were really good this whole tournament. Like Rookie had I'm going to drop some league terms on you.
Okay.
Rookie had a plus 20 CSD at 15 minutes over the whole entire tournament. CSD is creep score differential.
Okay.
So he was plus 20 on his lane opponent for the whole month. That's crazy. Like to think of, they played probably like 10, 15 games and it's usually they're closer, but he was on average at 15 minutes in the game, he was 20 CS ahead of his lane opponent, and each CS is anywhere from like 12 to 15 gold to 30 gold, and the cannons are worth 60.
Mhm.
So that's like 300-400.
They're just lucky
Gold,
I'm not playing, because I would get like 40 plus CS.
Yeah, D
Yeah.
at 15.
Yeah.
Or at 10.
At 8.
At 8.
Yeah.
Oh man, this
Yeah,
man's
yeah,
calling
yeah.
his shots right now. But yeah, so they played out of their minds, and the bot lane, Jackie Love and Balan, who's the support AD carry, who were the point where people were like, oh, well, Reckless, who's the AD carry for Fnatic, is much better than Jackie Love. He's more consistent. Jackie Love can be really good, or he can like just die all the time. So they showed up. They held their own, and the jungler showed up. So IG played really well. It was a 3-0. It wasn't really that close as people were hoping, but it was cool. Like I'm excited to see the IG skins, because each team that wins Worlds gets to choose what champion they get a skin for, and the Riot skin team comes up with skins.
That's
for
pretty
them.
cool.
Yeah,
That's neat.
yeah. So the ones last year for Samsung had like the player's signature when they recall. So when you press B, you can recall and go back to your base to buy stuff, and it does a little animation.
Uh-huh.
And so each of the ones like have their like signature when they recalled. So it's kind of it's kind of cool if you're a player to like win and you get all this stuff immortalized. In
I
the
should
game.
get that. I'll try for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Try and hit Challenger.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and then go to Worlds.
Yeah, do the thing.
So KDA, they released a K-pop video. It's a skin line in League of Legends. And that's what started this whole conversation.
Millions of people tuned in, and
Yeah.
quote unquote, it's a banger.
And they're
Wait.
gonna hopefully make an album.
At some point, like an older video popped up with Jinx and her song,
Okay.
even though that's like 5 years old or
Yeah,
something now. And like I browsed on comments, and like all the comments I saw were new ones, and they go, "Hey, who came here after watching KDA?"
They've actually made a couple songs. They have a fake metal band called Pentakill,
I saw that too.
which is another skin
That
line
was
in
fun.
the game. Yep. So they have 2 albums, Pentakill albums, like on Spotify. You can, and they make songs for Worlds every year, and they have like the Jinx song. They have a Vi song. But yeah, so hope I assume with all this popularity, they're gonna make a KDA album. If they have a Pentakill album, they might as well make the KDA one.
Well, they got the talent.
Yeah. So
We've done a lot of hype, a lot
Yeah.
of pro up talk.
yeah.
There has been some disputes that have been posted online here and there.
Yeah.
We don't want to neglect it. We might get to it in a future episode. And we might talk more about some of the dangers of video games and their production and making.
Yeah, you can look it up.
So like
See
I don't
some
want
stuff.
to I don't want to just go ahead and be like, "Oh, everything's fine and dandy." Like
That's also true.
there
yeah.
may be some things that aren't quite fine in the video game world. We're not avoiding it. We just didn't get to it in this episode, but
Right.
maybe at a future date.
We did the whole thing where we rambled about nothing
Yeah.
and ended up going over on time like
Yeah.
we always do.
but it's out there. We'll if you don't want to find it yourself, we'll get to it eventually. Or if you're interested in seeing like what disputes might be popping up, they're around.
Yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows over in video game land. You
Yeah.
know? Not all mushrooms
Yep, yep.
and coins.
Guess we'll
make
just have to
a
have Vella
reference.
on again at some point.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right.
Ryan, thanks for
Well,
coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
There's
fresh
just
off the
so
fresh
much
off the
esports
shift,
to talk
the working
about.
man.
Oh yeah,
When we're doing
Working man.
podcasts, it's a lot of fun. It was good to see you.
it was
Like
great
I said, I
to
took
see you
advantage.
guys.
It used to be right over there.
I know.
Every time I came over,
Yeah.
every time is in
kind of
like
miss it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie,
Yeah.
No, it's nice.
well.
nice
I
to
could
have-
watch video game creepily through the door.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
well,
I'm like, go for the gank, man. Like,
got to gank him, bruh.
yeah,
Totally.
my CSD
Anyway.
at 20 is great.
Yeah, dude, 20 CSD. Anyways,
All right,
I am tired. It's time to go home. Ryan, thanks for coming on. It's a lot of fun.
thanks. Thanks for
Until
having me.
next time, I have been JR.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Ryan or Vella, whichever you prefer.
Or you can combine them
Oh,
to
Ryan
get
Vella.
the full name.
Ryan Vella.
Vine Rella.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
prefer.
Which
Episode-
one? What,
This
you
has been
prefer-
episode 348 of Opinions May Vary.